Hey, Oncers, we're back. The show's back. You're back, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
As old as time, true as it can be. Barely.
Sorry, that actually scared me. I forgot about that part. Hello, everyone! I'm so excited to be back here. It's Once Upon a Time after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV, Season 6, Episode 1, The Savior. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Tiona Hobson. Thanks, Rox. And you can find me everywhere at the Tiona Hobson on the interwebs, and I've got two amazing co-hosts returning with me this season, Miss Roxy Striar.
I just started freaking out kind of because I forget that when we are off for so long, I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever. And now we're back for the after show, and you started talking, the music started playing, and my YouTube started playing also. I'm kind of freaking out, excited. That's how I feel.
And Marisa Serafini's here too.
Yes, I'm back, you guys. Even though some people aren't back, but I'm back. I'm really excited. I love the show, and I'm like, of course I had to be back. So, back with everyone.
Yes, so in case you hadn't noticed, Blake isn't back with us, but we're trying to get him to come in and say hi to you guys still.
We're also
love
going to
him.
have another host at some point.
Yeah, we're going to
maybe.
get a new host, so, you know, we'll be welcoming more people here to our Oncer family.
But for now, we're Charlie's Angels.
Wait, who's going
I don't
high,
know, going
low?
left, I'm going left.
Okay, I'll go right. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Nailed it. Nailed it, team.
Took us 10 minutes, but we nailed that pose, guys.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
So, we're back.
Yes.
And this episode, let's get our first thoughts. How are you guys feeling? Season 6, this sets the tone for the entire season to come. How are you guys feeling?
You know what? I like the theme of hope and looking forward to the future, even though a lot of people are in like bleak states right now, in remorse. Some people are reeling from certain deaths, same as me, and we'll get to it, but I like how there was a good setup for people healing.
You're still not over it?
I'm not, you guys, I'm not.
Neither is Regina, so.
It took like 2 minutes for me to bring that up.
Yeah.
So.
All right. First things first.
I'm the greatest.
First things first. I'm the greatest. Isn't that realist? I'm the realist.
Or first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. There's a lot of first things first.
I'm the world's greatest.
My first thing first is that I thought tonight's episode was bomb. Like, not like it bombed, it was bad. Bomb, like how we used to use it in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. Like, that was the bomb. It was really good. I was super excited because, you know, parts of last season, I feel like we had a little bit of a lull here and there, and this was a great way to start the season. I love what they're doing with Emma's character. I love watching Emma and Hooker for life, yo.
Hooker for life.
That was awesome. I'm shocked that we're on season 6, episode 1, and we're having our first episode called The Savior. Didn't you think we already had like 50 episodes called The Savior? But that was really cool. Focusing on that is awesome. And my favorite of all time, my favorite Disney movie ever is Aladdin. Because low-key, I'm Jasmine, didn't you know? So I'm all in this season.
I'm all in.
I'm all in.
Roxy has all the feels.
What I did like, I'm glad Aladdin is all the in this, and Jafar too. I mean, hello, Oded Fear. Still smoking. But like, I liked how they're bringing in that new story, but also just the idea that saviors, there are multiple saviors.
So cool.
So cool.
And Aladdin was one?
Yeah. And it just, for all you fans who are obviously writers and creators of Buffy, because I do have to bring this up because there are multiple slayers in that show, and I like how that concept translates to this show, that there are multiple saviors.
We've borrowed from Buffy a couple times on this show.
Too many times.
Not too many times.
But no, but
just
like,
enough.
I'm totally okay with that because I love Buffy and I love this show. So if they can like pull things from that great show, they can do it in this.
Button Bulk says, "Oh, Marissa, rolling your eyes at hookers." I saw that, Marissa. I saw that.
You see everything.
No, I'm more upset that you. I'm glad you guys still have your hookers for life. I'm just really upset that my outlaw queen is non-existent.
Hey, maybe not true. We hear obliterated. But you know, as long as you have hope and feathers, You're kind of
And
golden.
feathers.
Hopes and
I do have a
feathers.
little something about the feathers too later.
Okay.
Of course you do, Professor Serafini.
Yes.
All right, so
back.
let's get started first. Let's get some stuff out of the way before we get to the good stuff. All right, so Aladdin, we meet Aladdin and Jafar in the setup of the episode.
Many years ago.
Many years ago. And it's a very quick scene, and it's something that they released at Comic-Con, I believe. So, I mean, a lot of people, I had already seen this scene a million times and have already been, you
Aren't
know.
you a super fan?
Yeah, that's why I host an after show for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Smart.
So in this, Aladdin is beaten down. He's weak. He's all grungy and
Trembling.
trembling.
Tremors.
Well, yeah, the tremors are occurring here, and we see Jafar kind of walk in, and this villager is asking Aladdin to help them and help their town. In walks Jafar, and he's like, "To dust with you." And then he's like, "Aladdin, I'm not going to kill you. I'm actually going to savor this moment and make you suffer a little bit more." So what are you guys feeling about this setup for Aladdin's story here?
This is what I tweeted. Aladdin is bae, but Jafar is low-key also bae in this. Weren't you watching this and just thinking, Jafar on fleek? Like, honestly, he walked in and he crushed the game. He walked in and the whole world stopped. All I cared about was Aladdin. Then Jafar comes in. I'm like, wow, you just stole the show. So I'm really invested in this. But I feel bad because now we're setting up our future for saviors in general. Can you guys picture Emma hunched over in a dark little room, like curled up like that? No way. So that's a scary
but
thought.
I'd rather that than her dead.
I guess.
True. But it makes me question, like, if Aladdin got to that point of weakness and vulnerability, like, will Emma get to that point? Will Emma, because we already see these, like, not to jump too far ahead, but, like, we already see these tremors with Emma, so it's already starting that process of her slow deterioration. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and I'm just trying to, like, first of all, I love Aladdin and Jafar, the whole story, and also, you know, just like Arabian Nights kind of in general. But, like, I'm trying to just picture how they're going to tie this story to our main characters, other than the fact of the savior title.
Well, Jafar says a couple things that I'm realizing now kind of tie into what might be happening with Emma. He tells Aladdin that it took him becoming a hero for him to fall. And then he also says that saviors never get to live out their happily ever afters.
I know.
And those were two things that I wrote down. And now that, and I don't even know why I wrote them down, but then watching the episode now, I'm like, oh, wait a second. It's kind of that weird way of how they always find a way to tie things in together without you really realizing it.
Here's the deal, though. If villains don't get happy endings and saviors don't get happily ever afters, what the heck are we living for? You're just supposed to be
regular
somewhere in
folks.
between? You're just supposed to be a regular folk? No, you gotta aspire to be great or aspire to be evil. You know, go to one extreme. Do the damn thing.
But it sounds like Regina because she doesn't have her happy ending. So
Yeah.
maybe Regina's the savior, and we've just been led this whole time to believe it was Emma.
Well, or
but
maybe they're saying that Emma's
don't
not
think-
going to end up with her happy ending. And I don't say that as I mean it or I want it to happen because I am #hooker for life.
And I still think that Regina could get her happy ending, and Emma can. And screw you, Jafar. You don't know anything, but also you're bae. And, and you know, happily ever after could be interpreted in different ways. Maybe by Emma saving her entire family and saving the town, and she does get the love of her life. Maybe that is happily ever after. Happily ever after doesn't mean you live forever. That's not what happily ever after means. And also, I wanted to point out something while we're talking about Jafar in the chat. I didn't realize, did you guys watch Wonderland? Did you guys?
Yes.
Yes,
So
we
this
did.
is a recasted
Yes.
It's a different
Jafar.
character.
Jafar.
So how do you guys feel about that?
I love
love
Oded
it.
Fehr. I mean, I loved him from his Charm days. Yes, big fan. And I loved him from his Mummy days. Great. So, like, I think he's so perfect as being, he can be the calm, cool, but calculated, cold guy that Jafar could be. And he just has the physical appearance and just the presence of what Jafar should be as
And
a
it
character.
wasn't that way on Wonderland. Like,
I think
I
that-
wasn't
capture
afraid
it.
of Jafar in Wonderland.
The whole Wonderland story and casting kind of didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And I don't know why it didn't work out, but I think that I don't know if they're going to incorporate, you know, the same sort of story that we saw over there. It seems like we're completely, like, that's non-existent and we're starting over. And maybe they do just need a clean slate to really get this story right this time.
Jacob says if they just completely ignore Wonderland, I'm going to be upset. Do you guys feel like they should address it at some point?
No, because I think that we tried when we brought over Will Scarlet. We tried to sort of keep the Wonderland thing, and they still couldn't find a way. He was a series regular, and he was in like 3 episodes last season.
And he was drunk.
And he was drunk and maybe had one scene in each episode that he was in. So I think that they've tried to keep Wonderland alive and bring it over, and it's just not working in an authentic way. So to start over and just let it be would probably be best.
Yeah, I think it was because the stories of Wonderland, as fun as they were, I don't think they were strong enough to keep up with what's going on in the regular Once show.
Because we're back and we're better than ever.
Back.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yes, who's back?
Back again. Once upon a time is back. Tell a friend.
Hey. And now let's talk about our other favorite couple, Rumple and Belle. Sarcasm. Sorry, that was harsh.
Was that?
Okay, it's a new season. It's a new Tiona. And I know we got a lot of flack on how we treated the relationship of Rumple and Belle. And I will promise to be better at being neutral.
I'm not going to make that promise at all. Here's the realization. This is what I've come to, guys. This is what I am finally looking at this with fresh eyes. We've had a few months off. Belle only likes Rumple because she has Stockholm Syndrome. Like, he captured her. I mean, not really, but kind of, and sort of made her his slave and treated her like garbage. And yes, there were good moments, and yes, there were times I rooted for them. But when we even see this flashback, I'm watching it, and it's like just that 1 second, he's been torturing her, and for 1 second he's nice, so all of a sudden she wants to kiss him. It's like, this is how you treat your capture. It's insanity. It's insanity. Her own son comes to her and says, "Don't be with Daddy. Daddy ain't good.
And her son's not even born yet.
Right.
So
That was
what
such
kind
a
of
twist, though.
That was a
crazy
That was-
twist.
I did
I
not
was
see
like,
that coming.
what is happening
At
right
first,
now?
I was thinking, oh, did Belle find love while she was sleeping? Oh my goodness!
Right? I
Her
was
and
like-
Morpheus have been talking to each other or something, going on
How
dates.
glad are you that he didn't kiss her on the lips?
glad.
That would have been.
I
so
was,
glad.
oh my God. But when they said true love's kiss in the sun, I was like, this is weird. It's so weird. Oh my God, it's weird. And then he kissed her on the forehead. And
But
I was
they
like,
also
thank
took
goodness.
that from the season 1 finale. Emma
did.
kisses Henry on the forehead, and that was True Love's kiss that broke the entire curse.
We've
so.
had a lot of unconventional true love kisses on the show, which I'm totally for. I liked it because also, again, with the twist that we didn't see, Morpheus doesn't really look like the combination of Belle and Rumple, so that felt like it was kind of
He
like...
was kind of cute though.
kind
He
of.
was cute. But the fact that, like, even Belle was thinking, and her ID, her subconscious, even thinking that Belle was still a beast, and she was still a servant, like how emotionally abusive
right.
Yes.
Beast was
In her-
during this whole relationship. I was like, that's kind of sad.
We hear that your dreams choose you and not that you choose your dreams in this, so it makes a little more sense. But that's what I was thinking too, Marissa. This poor woman. She's been tortured and tortured. Even in her dreams, she has to be the servant. It's not
Yep.
fair.
It's sad.
But
Yeah.
it was interesting to see her perspective because all the flashbacks we've ever seen of her in the castle with the beast when she is the servant have been happy castle, like with lights, and it's not all dark and gloomy like it was here. And I like that Morpheus says to them, or says to Rumple, yo, realize that you saw this in one way. This is how Belle was living every day in fear of you. And even in the flashbacks that we've seen before, when Belle's talking to Rumple, she's not talking to him as like a scared, meek woman. And in this dream world, she's stuttering. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And every other time she's been like confident, like, oh yeah, I'm not ready, but like, I'll get this for you in a moment.
See, and
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, your subconscious doesn't lie to you. Mm-hmm. It
Not on
tells
purpose,
the truth.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tells the truth, like some form of the truth. And the fact that, like, she still isn't equal in this relationship says, like, girl, get out.
Yes.
Get out.
Get
This is
out,
what-
leave
Right now, the end of you and me.
The beast.
Yes. Okay, so Kristen in the chat says, Belle was so badass. Can we give her props for not going back to Rumple? I've got news for you. We've seen this 50 times. I can't give her props yet until she's made it at least through one more episode. Like, just do it for next week also. Just hold strong, baby girl. Don't go back to him. I used to root for you guys so hard, and now I realize that I was the one who had Stockholm. Get out. Leave.
Well, like,
JoJo him.
I like that she has that knowledge and awareness that she should not be in this toxic relationship. Yes, girl, stand your ground. Mm-hmm. Get out.
So I guess I have a question though about this whole twist with Morpheus. When he's telling Rumple that he only has an hour to wake up Belle, because otherwise she will go back to the Red Room, which is like the most horrible place. And
That fiery
yeah,
room.
the fiery room where she will suffer.
seen it before.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Did he mean it? Because now that we find out that it's his mom, was he really going to let his mom go to hell instead of
he's
bringing
playing
her
tricks.
back to life?
I think it was more just like a time, like, get this done or to leave, or because, it might be like time moves at a different pace there. If you stay there for an hour, it could really be like 3 days in real world. Who knows?
Or was he saying, I'd rather my mom burn in hell than go back to my father?
Maybe that.
Maybe.
Or maybe he would rather stay inside his mom's belly than be born with this kind of dad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what kind of person Morpheus becomes, because once he gets born,
Morpheus.
yeah, will he even be that same child? Will he be
Same name?
evil? I mean,
Wait a
he knows that
second.
his dad is now, not a good person, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree sometimes. So
Christian wrote, who would Belle be with then? Belle's going to be by her damn self.
Yep.
Because she's an independent woman and she has a child coming, and it's better to be
mom.
a single mom than be a mom with a father like that. And look at what he did with his other kid. And yes, he has redeemed himself sometimes. And yes, I have a soft spot for Rumple, and I low-key love him. But come on, he's not fit to be a dad.
Very true.
Right now, at least.
You so said it.
Thank you.
And speaking of parentage, Zelena is trying to be a mom. We'll see if she's going
trying
to be
real
a
hard.
good mom or not. She's a little frantic right now, trying to unpack everything. She's lost the feather that Roland gave her to give to Regina. That was Robin's.
Really rude.
Really rude. And oh my gosh. And the little special that they aired before the show started, they showed the clip of Roland giving her that feather from the finale. And I miss Roland because he was so adorable. He was
Yeah.
So cute.
give this to Regina because it's from my daddy's arrow. And how could you
Yeah.
lose that, woman?
It's just very disrespectful. I mean, if
It is.
because this is all really she has left of him, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, it's a mess here. I don't care how messy you are. You put that in a drawer. I put it somewhere. Don't lose that." And then what the hell that it's outside? When
Yeah,
it falls
follow-
onto the bench, was that the same
Maybe it
feather,
was
or was
just
that
following
just
her wherever she was.
Yeah,
maybe? But that was weird. I was like, she misplaced it out the window.
Well, the fact that like Zelena even lost, it just shows how much she didn't care about it, and like she doesn't care for Regina or her emotional feelings, and the fact that she lost the man of her life. But I mean, like I was hoping that the feather would come back as like something that Regina could use to like bring Robin back.
Yeah, when you were doing that locator spell, I
That
felt the
locator
same way. I don't think he's gone forever.
I don't think he is too.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Sean McGuire's coming back, you guys.
I feel you.
I said it.
We have hope.
I'm saying it and putting it out into the world so it comes back.
Maybe not till the finale, but
But
that's
you know what?
fine.
I'm okay with it. Like, if I have to wait a whole nother season for Robin to come back, I'm okay with it. Just knowing that he's coming back, I'm all for it.
She already lost one love of her life. Now she's losing another love of her life. We want Regina to have a happy ending. She's worked damn hard for it. So, yeah, we got to get him back.
But if we
Yes.
listen to what Jafar has said, Regina, who in the finale kills the evil queen version of herself, if she's now a savior, saviors don't get their happily ever afters. So if we listen to Jafar in that sense, it makes sense why Regina now doesn't.
According to
get to have
Henry,
that.
villains just lie.
Villains lie.
Villains
Yes.
do lie.
And
I
he's the
have to give it
author.
to Henry for that.
So he can write that crap in.
He also could have wrote so that Robin didn't die, but he's choosing to tell the truth and not manipulate stories.
Manipulate.
Well, he's going to write one chapter that's like, LOL, JKJK, Robin's here for good.
Chapter 3074,
Yeah.
Robin's still alive.
And when his
Start a
mom's
whole
like,
nother
why
book.
couldn't you have done that earlier? He's just going to be like, joke's on you. That sounds like Henry to me.
It sounds exactly like Henry right there.
I like that too.
But it turns out this feather that's missing, it's not just that the feather's missing, it's that Regina is listening to what Hyde said and thinks that Robin is not at peace because his soul has been torn into 1,000 trillion pieces, and so he's just
Obliterated.
She keeps saying that, too.
Obliterated
Marissa's
twice.
They
like
use that word a lot
her
in Harry
person.
Potter too, so
Yeah, they did.
yeah.
But when people die in Harry Potter, they really died. Spoiler, guys. But I think the wording was very interesting. The fact that obliteration means like they're truly gone. But the fact that they keep saying that, oh, he's still there in spirit, have faith, Robin's at peace. I'm not at peace with it, you guys. I'm not. And like,
How could you be?
No, I don't think anyone would be. But I think it's the way that it goes. Like, they're trying to keep Robin's spirit alive. Is his soul still alive? Because they said the soul was obliterated, but is his spirit still alive? Can they turn his spirit into something tangible so he's physically back alive?
Guys,
I don't know.
Or does she have to die to go be with the spirit?
Oh, God, please, you cannot kill Regina. Because I'd be done. I'd be just done.
Well, if that's what gives her a happy ending, if you really love her, Marissa, then that's what you want for her.
this is true. And I don't want the wrath of Marissa to strike upon me for this statement, but I think Robin's gone.
I don't. I'm with you.
You're lucky you're on that side of the table, too.
That's why I sat over here. And if they do find a way to bring him back, it wouldn't be the same Robin, I don't think. So I don't think it's worth bringing back someone who's not going to be the same person who you were in love with.
Right, kind of like when they tried to bring back Daniel back in like season 2, and he wasn't the same. He was kind of like a zombie monster kind of deal. Like, I hope that's not the case for Robin if they do decide to bring him back. No, he needs to be his true lovable self, his redeemable guy who was once an outlaw and now changed his ways for the better for Regina.
Yeah.
Just be good and bring happiness to her life.
Yep. I do have to say that the chat has been yelling at us for a little bit, though, saying Regina's not the savior. She's not a savior. So maybe
she could be a savior. We're not saying that she is, but she could be.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Regina, savior, evil queen, not a savior. When they were together, it was very hard to figure out the difference in who we were working with here. Separate, though, wouldn't this make Regina a good person and on the savior?
How many
end of
saviors
things?
can there be at once?
Maybe there can be multiple saviors.
Well,
Maybe I'm the savior. Maybe you guys are sitting in the same room as the savior.
I mean, if they could have
doubtful
if they
over
could
there.
have multiple Slayers on Buffy at the same time, they can have multiple Slayers in the show at the same time.
You tell them, Marissa.
And I'm just saying, there's like the team of like savior team and team of like evil team, and I think that the saviors have like a lot. And maybe we're using the term savior too loosely here when we mean on the good team good over here, just
TG.
Yeah. TGT.
Team good.
Team good.
Team good.
You know, and that's where she falls under. And the good people to me are the saviors because they're out there risking their lives for the town and for innocent people every single day to keep them safe. So sounds like a savior to me, but what do I know?
What are you, Oracle or something? You see
I
in the
mean, do
future?
you see this hair? Yes, it has many secrets. Let's just say that.
Makes sense.
But one of the other things I wanted to talk about with Regina and Zelena, they get into the fight when they're in Regina's office, and Regina is there and she's hurt, and she's like, I blame you because I trusted you, and you're the one who brought Hades, and he killed him and all that stuff. But Zelena's also equally upset with Regina because she ripped out the only part of them that they had in common.
Okay, I did not like this line. It felt so selfish of Zelena. I was like, no, Zelena, you're evil because you chose to be evil. Regina's good because she chose to change her ways and be good. And like, I felt that was like a terrible one thing that they could share in common. Like, no, you don't understand what Regina is going through. Yeah, you lost Hades, but he was a dick.
Yes, you've got to be bleeping kidding me. Like, you've got to be kidding me. That when I kind of felt for Zelena for a second here. I felt for her for a second when Regina was like, you did this, that kind of thing. And I was like, she really didn't mean to. It's really harsh on your sister. But then when Zelena's like, well, I'm sad because you became a better person. Like, you're kidding me. You're
so
kidding
selfish.
me. That's what you should want for your siblings, for your family, for your friends, for anybody you love. You want them to be the best person they can be. She killed the part of her that's bad, and Zelena's like, well, that's what made us close. That's how we relate. Are you joking?
Right?
Or are you joking?
I interpreted what she said. Yes, it was still a selfish comment, but I interpret it more as she was upset that she went to Snow White and she didn't come to her.
Because Zelena would have been like,
secondary.
no, that's what makes us
which probably
family.
She would have said. But also, she's been fighting this whole time to feel part of a family and part of her have a relationship with her sister. They've worked so hard to get to the point where they are, and then to see her sister just go off and Regina and Snow are getting along fantastic.
I know, and I love
right
it.
now.
And
it's
that's the
great.
thing.
But it's also, it can be like, wow, this is a girl. Zelena is known to be envious of Regina. And now she sees her drifting off and starting this new relationship with Snow instead of trying to be closer with her own flesh and blood. So I could see where as a sister, you're like, hey, why aren't you coming to me? Why are you going to her instead?
I get that. But it's Zelena, so even though I'm, I go on to Team Zelena sometimes, this is evil intentions. I really think it is.
See, I thought it wasn't until...
Evil Queen?
I think that it was enough. Here's the thing with Zelena. She's always skating that line. And it's always usually something that someone says or does that's not intended to be ill-willed towards her. But the fact that Regina has done this now has pushed her into a lonely place where she's alone and vulnerable again, and then insert the evil queen into her house with apple martinis, and all of a sudden we're going to see those two sisters off bonding when it really could have been the good Regina and Zelena bonding. Regina just blames her, so she wasn't able to open up to her and to start that relationship.
Okay, so my thing is, maybe Regina could have gone to Zelena and bonded over both of them losing the loss of their loved ones. But I'm kind of glad it didn't go to Zelena, only because all these seasons we've been trying to work out the Snow White and Regina's situation. They have come so far to the fact that even this episode they had another heartfelt conversation.
It was an awesome moment.
Really building the relationship between these two. And I want to see that more than the Regina-Zelena relationship.
I agree, because we have to keep in mind that they're family also. That's her stepmom. And when she says that tonight, as the two of them are sitting there, I just couldn't help but think, wow, Snow has been nothing but great to Regina. Regina recently has been really good to Snow, and I want to see them bond. Now, if Zelena wants to get on our team, I'm totally into that, but she can't try to pin Mary Margaret against Regina. That's not what I want to see at all. And I love that moment outside. I thought that was so powerful.
So good. And I think, just Regina's whole monologue at the end was just beautiful. It wasn't...
You like Regina?
A little bit. If you guys couldn't.
I didn't know.
But Regina's self-realization of what she's been through and how she appears to some people, some people she's a hero, some people she's a villain, but the fact that she's working past her issues and she just wants to start anew, I'm for it. Girl, it's good to know what happened in your past to learn about it and then move forward in the future.
So can we go back to one thing for a second when we were talking about Jafar and whatnot, because the chat keeps screaming at us about this. This is something that Nicholas Kelly has been trying to tell us since the beginning of the conversation. It says, the Oracle is who I think is Cassandra, a.k.a. the Oracle of Delphi, from ancient Greek mythos and Hercules from the Percy Jackson series. And if that's the case, then Apollo is on the horizon. I have now read it, Nicholas Kelly, and the rest of the chat, and then the whole chat started. I like that our chats and fans of each other, that they support each other. So that is interesting about what Oracle is. I know that we'll get more to Oracle, but... Rest assured, I saw your comment, and we will talk about Oracle in a little bit.
Sorry, and that just made me think of a prediction, which I'm not sure if this is what he was trying to say, but I'm writing it down so I can say it
So
later.
you're stealing his prediction?
No,
his
idea inspired
something
me to think of something else. Thank you, Nicholas Kelly.
Yes.
So now I have to talk about my favorite part of this episode.
Oh, I know what it's going to be. Oh my God.
That steamy hookup.
Hey, this is what I wrote. I can't even read it out loud.
Definitely up. Definitely up.
It says Emma and Hook seriously getting it on.
And then it
Hook
says,
and all. He was ready.
And then it says stupid effing earthquake. Actually a dirigible. But I've never been so mad in my entire life as when he has her on the couch and they are just so steamy and sexy and I'm all in, and then things start shaking. I'm like, I don't care that things are shaking. Keep going. If the world's ending, you know what you gotta do.
Like this.
You know what you gotta do. It was so sexy. They're so passionate. This is the best couple ever. I'm in love. I'm in love with their love.
I'm in love with their love. I wrote down Hook and Emma. Things get so hot that the earth shakes. Because at first I was like, oh, is this them causing this ruckus? And then I was like, oh no, there's a dirigible crash landing in Storybrooke.
Yeah, bad timing.
just let them have a moment, guys. They went through so much. Emma has finally said, I love you. And it wasn't in a moment of duress or stress. It was just walking down the street like, hey, man, everything's cool.
Yes.
I love you.
Let's get it out.
They need their sexy
get it
time. Let's
on.
be honest.
She got a house now, so she's not living with her mom and dad. Like,
Yes.
they got a couch. She ain't got no other furniture, but, you know,
Slay.
all
Yes.
day. So
I
that
love
was
the
my...
fact they were both in leather and they were trying to take it off.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, no,
and he
I
loves
like
her
the
red leather jacket, guys. He loves it.
And I love
Likes
when
the
hookups
leather.
like you are kind of making jokes and they're both smiling and laughing about that leather moment. Yeah, dreams, like relationship goals. Come on.
Maybe-
it was sexy. I will give
Yes.
it that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so early. I was like, this is a family show, right?
I
Yeah.
know.
It's 8 o'clock.
I was kind of surprised with that too, Marissa. Like it was really.
No, they were getting
That's
it
how
up.
I knew it was going to stop, because I was like, oh, it's ABC. But in my mind, this is what happened next. He takes his hook and he just like rips off her blouse.
Whoa.
Boom! That's how you take it to the next level right there.
That hook could be low-key dangerous. Like
It
when you're about to
could
go into
be.
sexy time, you should probably put a pillow over it or something.
Or just like just leave it as like the
yeah,
iron of the hook, but not like
Yeah.
take the hook part off. Yeah.
I think
You really thought about this.
I mean,
imagine that.
Hooker for life. I've thought about
she's
that a
got
lot
the
of things.
buttons and he just like or something.
Yeah, he's got the buttons and you just like easy to just
Yeah.
take off. Yeah. Okay. Sorry guys at home. Like this is okay.
Oh,
It got hot in here all of a
It's like,
sudden. Right?
it actually really did. Like
It really
we made
did
it
get a
steamy.
little warm in
All
here.
right, but at least the chat is loving that hookup as much as we are. Too.
Okay, good. Glad you guys are on the same page. So here's what's happening. Just Hyde. He's not a doctor.
No.
He's
Dr.
just-
Jekyll.
Yeah, but she's talking about
But
Hyde.
I'm talking because now they're split, and so I had to ask Marissa. I was like, "Wait, hang on."
It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
Mr.
Hyde.
Yeah, I was like,
Mr.
which
Hyde's
one's what?
the evil
Mr.
one.
Hyde's
Dr.
got the red
Jekyll's the good
eyes.
one.
Yeah,
And you can think of
that
it like-
voice is so like creepy.
Yeah, but you want to hide when Hyde
When
comes.
Hyde
That's
comes,
yeah.
you want to hide
that's,
from him.
That's a good
I
association.
like that word association. Okay, so he has invited these people. We don't really know who they are or what their story is, but we know that they're from the land of untold stories. So he's invited all these people over here, and they crash land. They
Like, learn
scurry
to fly
about.
better.
I mean, they looked like didn't look like they were,
No,
It didn't
panicking.
even look like they were crashing. They were just like they were descending.
Descending.
And again, they
Descending into the
interrupted
forest.
our hookup. So I need you to get a better captain / pilot.
Yeah. And then they
Well,
scurry off into the woods.
Hook's not staring. So.
They scurry off all scared and whatnot. But Dr. Jekyll can salvage some parts to make a weapon that's similar to what they used on Mr. Hyde back last season to knock him out, since Emma and Regina's powers aren't really working on him.
Yeah, and I think that magical logic was one of those things I just had to accept. You know, they're like, oh, this is from the same magic that created the wand back in the land of untold stories. I was like, okay, all right, we're going to go with it to help ease the story along.
Extend your
Yeah.
disbelief. I completely
Yeah.
agree. Because for a second, I caught myself being like, that makes no
I was
whatever.
like, these things are completely different, but sure, we'll go with that.
Sure. Yeah.
I just
Whatever
didn't
we gotta
even
do.
understand it, so I was like, cool.
Yeah, but I did love that moment that was it Zelena who said to Regina, "Wow, I really thought this was going to take a few weeks and a couple of things." I was like, "That's exactly what the audience
He's
thought."
handy.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was going to take 4 or 5 episodes to get him, but we got
But-
him. That doesn't mean we're going to keep him, but we got him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we also got him a little too quick for my liking, which means that he will probably not be
Yeah.
kept for long.
I agree.
But they have this, and while they're going through all the rubbish, Emma picks up a piece of, like, there's a clank of the metal, and then she starts having these visions, and her hand starts trembling, and we're all like, why is she in a sword fight in the middle of the street at night with a hooded person? Like, what's going on here? And then Emma.
Who's learned nothing.
Emma!
Come on,
It's
Emma.
6 seasons in, and we still haven't learned. We don't lie to everyone when something weird's going on.
Yeah.
Because trust me, your hand shaking isn't the weirdest thing that's happening today in Storybrooke. I guarantee it. So why not just tell someone? Anyone!
Like the love of your life, maybe Hook.
Maybe.
When he asks you 50 times, why don't you just tell him, use your words like a big girl, and say, Hook, my hand is shaking, and by the way, I chased some weird red bird, and it brought me to this oracle chick who told me I'm gonna die, and here's how. Was that so hard?
What's that?
It's not.
It was pretty
And
easy.
you did that less than a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. And
And-
Hook would have been like, let's get on this right now, as opposed to, I don't know, going about it by yourself and pretending that your hand isn't shaking? Stupid girl.
Have you learned nothing,
Nothing.
Emma, from keeping secrets? Every season, you keep a secret. Every season, by the end of it, people are like, yo, just tell us next time. Mm-hmm. And every season,
year.
you say, okay, I will. And then the next year, you don't.
This show is all about that. Like, people change, but they stay the same. That's what we see with Rumple over again, Belle over and over again, Emma over and over again, Hook over and over again, Mary Margaret over and over again, Regina with the evil queen coming back again, Zelena always letting us down. Like, you can kind of change, but you kind of can't.
Well, the thing is, it's like Emma just went through literally hell and back with Hook. You think Hook can handle this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
what he would have said, what Killian Jones would have said to you, Emma, was, love, we'll figure this out together.
Yeah.
That's all you need. A partner who's down for the ride whenever. That's what you need in life. Emma, if you're going to take Hook for granted and not use him to his full potential, I'll take him. Boom. Easy. I will take him. He's a good boyfriend right now.
And he'll probably hook your clothes off.
I mean, that's what I was hoping for. Anyway.
Woo.
So Emma's family is concerned about her. They send over our favorite psychologist, Dr. Hopper.
Yeah, this is so weird. Archie and Pongo.
And Pongo just randomly walking through the woods with 2 cups of coffee. Like, hey.
Such a low blow. Emma saying, I don't want therapy from a cricket. Like,
Oh, right. That was kind of mean.
really mean, girl.
Like, he's
Wasn't
gone
it kinda
out of your
funny?
way into the forest, no less, to do a
Right.
free therapy session for you. Come on, Emma.
But wasn't it also kind of funny how she tried to clean it up? Like, no, it's not like I'm anti-crickets or anything.
Yeah, it's very PC of them.
PC of them to kind of say, you know, we all say things we're not supposed to sometimes. Anywho's, but yeah, it was nice to see Archie back. We've been talking about it for a while, how so much has been going on in this freaking town, and everyone probably needs a good therapist right about now. And so it was nice to see him.
But, like, I don't think she even really got
She didn't get
good therapy. I mean, he did say something, you know, like realizing that she's been fighting all these years with no breaks and whatnot, and there's a lot of collateral damage in her relationships. But, I mean, we already knew that.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Like, was it needed? It was nice to have Archie back. We missed him, obviously, but I don't think it was needed.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I can't fight it.
But you know what? He probably finally had some time off in between shooting all the other shows
the
he's been
murder in the
doing. So
first.
it was like,
Yeah.
hey, let's grab
Let's
him
get
while we
him
can. Because who
Maybe
knows?
they're shooting close by.
Shooting
Maybe he was
nearby.
like switching planes on a layover. or
Yeah,
something.
so let's get into what this oracle kind of. Well, Emma and Mr. Hyde have a couple confrontations in his cell area, and one of the things he says to her the first time they're talking is that hang on. Oh yeah, first it's like she should bring him some Syrah next time.
Which I
for
understand.
that.
Like, if
Yeah.
I'm chilling in jail, bring me some wine.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice because he said with 2 glasses. Yeah, I was being thoughtful of him and her.
Yeah, or he was gonna give it to his imaginary friend. We don't actually, he didn't say it was for her, but he says that she has to follow the red bird, and he asks like, "But are you ready to face your untold story?" And then he like attacks, and he's like, "Oh, you're afraid of me." Do you guys think that Emma is afraid of him?
I would be. Look at those eyes.
I mean, his voice would be enough to, if I close my eyes, like his voice. He really does a good job getting that deep,
He's so kind of hot.
crazy.
though.
Yeah, it's in a crazy,
Yeah,
like I want to make out
weird.
with you kind of way.
Like,
but
he went to strangle her, and I was like, ooh, damn.
well, the
Roxy, we have issues.
Issues.
We've got issues, man. Okay.
Well, the funny thing, to answer all your questions, the funny thing is Sam Witwer has actually been here in the studios, and his voice does not sound like that.
Oh.
So it's definitely played up.
We gotta get him back for the show.
Yeah, and Sam Witwer is actually really known for his voice acting in the Star Wars animation series, so I think that's why they kind of be like, hey, put on a voice for your character to make you more villainous and scary. Cool. Totally for it. I don't think Emma's afraid of Mr. Hyde, because I think she's faced worse villains and like still came out fine. I think she's more afraid of the unknown, of this untold story, and the fact that she's now hesitating during key situations where she's trying to save people, but like the fact that she can't even act like her normal self scares her. And she likes being in control, and she's not in control right now.
Yeah. I get that. And I do think she is scared of the unknown and of figuring out what's going to happen to her. And I think she starting to sense that he has more answers than she thought, and that Oracle has more answers.
Yeah, I mean, he knew she was in jail. He's saying things about her that are, clear character traits, and he doesn't really know her at all. So
you don't know me.
You don't know me, homie, so don't talk about me. Also, Victoria Davison in the chat I've seen like 3 things in the chat tonight, but she just said that she thinks that the red bird is Iago.
Iago. I was going to ask you the same thing. Do you think that? Because it was hard to delineate what kind of bird it was, if it was a parrot, if it was Iago. I was like, red bird, that's not a coincidence that we have the story of Aladdin and Jafar along with a red bird. Mm-hmm. People are going to make that assumption.
Yeah, I know.
We can't be the only ones thinking that.
Yeah, but then it is weird bringing in the Oracle to this story too, and then we're going to have Jasmine. It's like, who is from Aladdin and who is not? Because by that logic, then we'd start thinking, who the heck could Oracle be?
It could be anyone. And we've seen other different oracles too. Mm-hmm. So who is this current one?
And why does she stay the same age?
And that's true. And I just thought that the red bird was Fox from Harry Potter. It was definitely Dumbledore's.
I think
bird.
not.
The Phoenix.
I don't think so,
no.
but I like your thought process.
I just want Harry Potter involved, so that's where I went with it. But anywho's, so where were we? Oh yeah, Emma and Mr. Hyde. They're interesting. I like how she goes back to him.
Oh, people in live chat are saying the Oracle is fake and it might be Jafar in disguise.
Ooh.
How is that possible? Because we saw Jafar and the Oracle in the same room a long time ago.
But maybe Jafar has the powers of transforming himself into a different character.
At the same time, though? Because they're both in... Maybe. Interesting point.
If they're 2 completely different people,
or maybe
Jafar has that ability. It's magic.
It could have used to been Oracle, and the Oracle passed away, and Jafar, somehow
took on shape.
Took on the shape.
Maybe.
Like that.
So let's talk about a little bit more in depth about what Emma sees when she goes to the Oracle. So the Oracle tells her that this is only a small piece of what is going to happen, but basically we see Emma's death. We don't know when it is, but we know no matter what path she chooses, all roads lead to this battle in the middle of the street and her dying in this battle.
Right.
And we see that there's a hooded person. Her mom and dad and Hook and Henry are all standing there as well. And she straight up gets, she's in a sword fight, first of all, which that's how Emma dies. And then
we have to remember that anytime you see the future, that can be interpreted so differently. Like, what is death, and in what way is she dying here? And when she's stabbed, is she really fully stabbed to death? And who is it that's in the hood? And also the people that are behind her, what is the circumstance in which she says, I need to save them? Like, she seemed like she was reasoning with the person, not that she hated them. There are so many different things you have to look at, so many angles. But I have a feeling this is going to be a question for at least the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to find out who was under that hood. But one of the things that happened in the preview episode before we went to air was there was a fan question to Adam and Eddie about what they would wear to the Captain Swan wedding. And after they kind of discussed it a little bit, they also were like, this is a very sort of leading question because you're assuming that they both will survive this season. And then we see this oracle's prediction of life, and it makes you think, well, we don't know how far into the future this is, so now Emma's gonna live every day thinking this could be the day I die.
That's a horrible feeling.
Which the oracle does warn her, to know the future is a burden on itself.
Yeah, and we also know by Rumple was so distraught and having the abilities of an oracle. He always saw the future, and you saw how plagued he was. So, the idea of just knowing that you're going to die, it's with everyone. Everyone knows that. But the fact that what bothered me in those flash forwards more so, or that vision, was that we saw her family, Emma saw her family, but they were just really standing there and just being observers, not really aiding in the situation. So what happened? And that's where I think you're right, Roxy. It might be someone that we actually know who's been under our noses this whole time.
I have a theory on it. I'll tell you guys in predictions.
And they just said in the chat that we will find out by the Christmas break. So that is the first half of the season where we're not going to know. And something that Hyde did say is that Emma tries to help everyone. And is it the fact that she's trying to help this person who could already be here? She could already know. She could not. But is her actions, is that what leads to her death? By helping this person, maybe Emma actually hurt them, and that's what turned them, and why this is a huge battle now. There's so many questions that come out of it, and we're only on episode 1, guys.
I know.
Yeah, so many questions that they do so well.
Ooh, so many things. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about this episode?
Just predictions.
I liked how this premiere was probably one of the first premieres where we weren't stuck in a portal, or we weren't stuck in another land or realm. Like, we were all in the same
CGI didn't suck?
situation. Yeah, right. We were pretty much in the same place.
We brought the other land to us this time. We were like, you know what? We're not stepping foot outside of this place. You gonna come to us
We've
this
already
time,
built
trouble.
this set, and it looks good, so we're gonna keep it.
We're gonna keep it. Boom. I forgot to do my job, and I didn't get any news and gossip for this week. So let's just...
well, like, I have one thing. Then it's not really news. It's not really news. It's more. It could be like a special segment.
Okay.
But the feather, the whole idea of a feather.
Okay.
If you guys are fans of Lana Padilla, as we all are, we know that feather is actually a very meaningful thing to her in her personal life, because I pulled this from a very old article back in like 2012. But the feather, Lana Padilla actually has a tattoo of her feather on her wrist, and she says because it recalls a painful period that she was living in LA, and she had a hard time and she lost her faith. But then she was saying, like, send me a sign, why am I here? And then a feather appeared, and then like more feathers just kept following her like throughout her life. And then so she realized that she noticed feathers every time she was down and having a hard time, and so feathers is just something that reminds her to be happy.
I like that.
I like how they applied that to Regina's character, because Regina is down and out. Robin is gone. She's sad, and she's lost her faith, and people are trying to give her hope and faith back. And here this feather of Robin's still kind of in her life.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole art imitating life thing is beautiful.
Yeah, this show is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And speaking of beautiful, before we go to predictions, I have a special segment for you guys, and it's the fact that Blake McIver, our old co-host, is tweeting right now, and he says, I miss my hashtag oncers so much. Wish I could be with you this fall, but have some other exciting stuff coming soon at AfterBuzz TV. And for the record, ... all 3 of Belle's weaves win all the awards tonight. Hashtag Once Upon a Weave. So make sure you guys tweet at him at Blake McIver all season, because he'll definitely been watching. And hopefully we can get him in here. But he is leaving the show, and that means we have room for a new special segment. So we want to hear from you guys what you want us to do. Should we keep up with Once Upon a Weave? Should we start doing Once Upon a Wine and talk about the moments that make us cheers, or you want a drink? Or should we just start drinking right here on the show with you guys?
Yep.
There's so many different things. If you
Once
guys
Upon
have
a Hooker, just talk about Hook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, a special Hook segment every week. I wouldn't be mad about it, guys. I'm just saying.
Hooker of the week.
That
sounds terrible.
Hooker of the week, jeez. Totally open to suggestions, though, so you guys, you can write that in the YouTube comments here, or you can tweet at us, which we'll give our handles at the end of the show, or on iTunes, wherever you want to write it. We're going to read everything, so if you guys have a special segment that you like, or one of those sounds good, we'll start incorporating that on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roxy. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Marissa.
Yes, thank you.
Let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so not really a prediction, but something that we learned also in the special. Adam and Eddie were very upset that no one was asking about Dopey's status since he's a tree.
Yeah,
and they said whether we like it or not, we will find out what happened to Dopey.
Forgot about that.
Poor Dopey.
Don't forget about Dopey. You know, he's still there. He's still a tree, or maybe he's not. We don't know, but they will tell us whether we want to know about it or not. And I definitely want to see. So in the preview, we get a lot of things on this season, and we see Cinderella is back again, Aladdin and Jasmine. We've got the evil queen who's back now. We have this oracle saying that Emma's gonna die. There's so much going on. Where do you guys even begin to think about predictions? Because I don't know how.
I got one.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
I got one.
Go for it.
So the hooded person, I think, is Dark Swan. So the same way that Evil Queen has come back, I think that Emma's actually fighting Dark Swan. And when the Oracle says that she dies, it is true, but it's Dark Swan that's dying. So it's part of her that's dying. And when we see her get stabbed, she's not really getting stabbed. She's gonna pull it out and she's gonna kill Dark Swan for once and for all. Showdown.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. And I definitely agree that we don't see the whole fight, so
Right.
there's got to be some sort of twist to what else happens at the end there. But I like this whole Dark Swan angle you're going with here.
Yeah, a lot of people were guessing it could be Evil Queen too, or that she's fighting, which I think on purpose didn't see Regina or Evil Queen standing behind. So those are my thoughts.
That's really good. Shoot.
Like, how do you follow that up?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep harping on this, but like I truly believe that Robin's not completely gone. I think he'll come back with this feather, with his spirit, something. His soul cannot be completely gone.
I agree with that.
And the fact that I keep bringing him up after all these episodes, I mean, he died like 3 episodes ago and they're still talking about him, which, like, I'm glad that they are. He's not completely gone. But, like, I think they're going to try to find out some way to bring him back. They have to.
Is bringing Robin back going to be on the top of their list with the Evil Queen and
It's on top
Zelena
of
kind of teaming
Regina's
up?
list.
But even with Regina, it's on the top of her
But
list
like,
with
I think the
her
like,
sister
real
and her
question
evil
is
half.
people who thought should be dead are still alive. Like the dragon, he died a while back, but he was still alive and he somehow came back. And the fact that we thought evil Regina was dead, she's still alive. The fact that like she went into dust and just pretty much went to a different location, she's still alive. So are deaths really deaths in this show?
I hope for your sake, Marissa, that they're not.
Yes,
yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
not.
Hashtag
That's
going
not really a
on in our
prediction,
chat right now.
personally.
Hashtag Dopey Lives Matter,
Dopey lives matter.
which I'm loving.
Yes. I don't even know how to come up with a prediction because the prediction I thought of earlier based off of Nicholas Kelly's comment, I think is what he was already saying. Because are we saying that the Oracle who Emma talks to is the same? Was that an Oracle who was with Aladdin and Jafar? Are we
Yeah.
saying that's the same
It
person?
looked like that.
Because in that scene, did we see that other Oracle's
Yeah.
face?
Yeah.
Because it was a dark TV screen.
We
so I
don't know.
couldn't see.
Yeah, we did, but we don't know. Jafar could be embodying it, like Marissa said.
Okay.
So.
See, that was like my great idea. And
People
then
are
I
telling me to
realized
move
that
on in live chat. So that Robin's
No, you
gone.
don't need to move on. You don't need
He's
to.
he's alive in my heart, you guys.
Yvonne Soto says the dragon's coming back, confirmed. And
Yes.
Asma, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Mohammed. Beauty and the Beast music playing, please mention it. That's what we
So
opened up
good,
with it.
yeah.
That was bomb.com.
good.
Hashtag I'm stuck in the 90s.
Hashtag
I'm always
stuck
stuck
in
in
the
the
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm excited to see where this season is going. I hope that we don't lose anyone that we care about. I feel like every season it's like, who's going to die? And I don't necessarily need any more death in my life right now. So I hope that no one dies. But I'm excited to see where this season goes. I mean, we're on season 6, guys. This is a show that, you know, congrats to us for pushing on.
Yeah, how long do you think Mr. Hyde will stick around for?
Well, what they did say about this season is that they're not splitting it into the 2 separate stories like they've done in the past. They're taking it back to the roots and the origins of this show and getting back into the characters that we know and love and really diving into them. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention, we didn't get a lot of Snow and Charming tonight, which we haven't gotten a lot of them recently at all, but
Because we've been off air for months.
well, no, I
She's
just meant like
super
last season
pregnant.
because she's always pregnant. So
Yeah, she's super pregnant.
Yeah.
Did you not notice that one shot where she like half turned?
Yeah,
You can like
yeah.
see her full figure.
no, she had the
Yeah,
baby.
she's walking. But when they
When
were
she was
filming
Oh, when they were
this,
filming, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that I'm really excited to see the Snow and Charming dynamic because I think that now that she's not going to be pregnant this season, that we'll finally get more of them back into the story and back into the fight. And tonight I was a little sad that we didn't get more of them. We got that one scene in the forest and when they were telling everyone come to Granny's for food and shelter. And that was about it. But I was like, I need more of them because they're the original, you know,
Yeah.
power couple.
It didn't look like it, though, when we
are.
got the predictions or we got scenes for next week. We got Evil Regina, we got Zelena, and then they mentioned Aladdin, Jasmine, and Cinderella didn't sound like Snow and Charming to me.
But the thing is, like,
no.
every time you see Snow and Charming, or like when they focus a lot of time on them, is because they're usually going through something. And right now, they are the most consistent couple.
They're stable.
They're good. Like,
But-
they found each other. They're good.
But they've been saying that, they'll have to go through their trials because Snow last season decided, she's not Mary Margaret anymore. She has to remember that she was Snow and who this fighter is in her. So I think that it will bring up some new issues for them in their relationship as they're growing, just to kind of, add to the pot. I'm just sick of them being the C story because I'm used to them from season 1 and 2. Like they were the A story. It was about them and finding each other. We'll always find you. And I love Hook and Emma, and I love seeing them at the forefront. But I miss the OGs.
Yeah, I agree with that. Did we briefly mention that weird granny scene with all the gremlins and goblins coming in and eating the food? That's not what they are, but that was bizarre.
I was like, you're really inviting these shady people into Granny's? Okay,
Yeah.
is she really that hospitable?
Just because they look that way doesn't mean we can't trust them. We don't know their story.
Very true. That's true, because it's untold. So tell us.
It's untold.
Yeah.
It's untold. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Welcome back for a brand new season. I hope you guys will continue to watch with us every week live here on AfterBuzz TV at 9:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Woohoo. In the meantime, where can everyone find you, lovely ladies?
You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And you guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
I'm at the Tiona Hobson, and make sure you check out, AfterBuzz TV. We have a website, YouTube page, iTunes, social media, up the yin yang. More 90s throwback for you, Roxy.
Yin
You
yang.
can follow us at AfterBuzz TV, and please make sure you guys are leaving us comments on the YouTube channel. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, please go rate us, give us 5 stars, and leave us a comment there because we do check those as well.
Keep the conversation going. Everyone was great in live chat tonight.
And talk about what our new segment should be.
Yes. New segment. Maybe we should make a poll for that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.